Yes. Oh, I love that new intro. What is going on, everybody? I hope everyone's had a great week. And today is a beautiful day, well, as every day is, to talk about FPL. Now, I am back with a video I did last year, as you can see with the thumbnail, the headline. How to fit 3 premium attackers into your squad. Now, I feel like this is more prevalent this year than it was last year because of how many good premium options there are heading into the season. And a lot of people are going for this, so I thought, hey, let's do it again. I had 2 big rules. The first one is I had to have multiple formations to show you guys different options on making a squad. And the second one was I was not allowed to make a draft using a 5-man back line. Couldn't use 5 defenders. I thought that it gives me more flexibility with 6. It's a little more challenging to come up with a squad with 6 attackers. And so for that reason, I'm consistently sticking with the rule of not having a 5-man back line. I'll have 4 defenders for 2 of them. And I went all out and got only 3 defenders in the last one. So let's go ahead and get into this. How to fit 3 premiums into your squad. I'll show you some templates. All right, now the first formation I went here is the 4-3-3. Now I do have to say real quick, I did my best in these 3 different templates to switch up the players as much as possible. I try to pick new players every single time to kind of make it one more challenging, I guess, but more so to give you guys as much variety and options as possible to when you're building your own drafts, right? But that being said, I think there are some really good options out there at certain prices. I think I just had to keep them in. But like, for example, I have Neto in a couple of drafts, but you could easily switch him out for, let's say, Undav is looking good in preseason for Brighton, and he's only 5.5 attacker. Maybe he's a 5.5 you go for, as you'll see in different drafts. And maybe you use that 7.5 on Watkins here in the midfield. Whatever it may be, that 5.5 there is variable. But right now, I just think Neto is a great for that option. But again, let's see as we go into game week 1. All right, so my 3 premiums in this template here, Salah, Kane, and Haaland. I think Salah and Haaland are just both, I think, above 60% selection right now. They're the most popular picks. And I think this is probably more popular than, or Kane's probably more popular, I'd have to check, than Son. It's probably because of the 0.5 difference. I have to fact check myself that as I go through this video. But this is the first one I have here. The beautiful thing about this one is I think there are a lot of good options at 7.5 striker that you could see here as I have Ollie Watkins. I mean, I don't think any of them really stand out from the other. I think Ollie Watkins has a good run of fixtures to start the season, and so that's why I had him here. Saka 8 mil is just a great option. Again, a lot of great 8 million pound midfielders out there. So the thing I love about this one here is if in game week 1 and game week 2, there's another player that's balling out, maybe Luis Diaz is balling out, maybe Bamford's balling out, you could easily switch Saka out in game week 1 for them. And for me, this gives me a lot of, I still feel like there's a really balanced team, even with it being 3 premiums. Now, Ait Nouri at 4.5, this could be, let's see how Johnny does going into preseason with Wolverhampton. But I really like that. You could swap Diaz. I mean, I'll show you guys different prices, but Diaz down to Trippier, maybe Diaz down to Perisic, and upgrade Ait Nouri to Trippier if you go Diaz to Perisic. But I like this draft a lot. I think this 3 premium one at the 4-3-3 gives you so much flexibility in the fact that it doesn't lock you down to 2 midfielders, to 2 strikers, and it gives you a lot of room to operate here. All right, the second one I have here, going with the 4-4-2. Now, these 3 I picked now are going to be Salah, Son, and Kane. This one obviously leaves out Haaland, which is super. I mean, you got to have some guts to leave him out at this point, like 61% selected. And he's just a beast. We'll see how he does. But maybe you're not feeling Haaland. Maybe you don't want to go that route. So let's go Son, Kane, and Salah. Now, with this, it gives me a good amount of flexibility in midfield because, again, there's a lot of midfielder options. St. Maximin has a really good couple fixtures to start the season. Again, I put Neto in. Again, you could put in Undav if he's the one that's really hitting his stride there. Again, I did use some of these. Reece James, as you see here, 6 mil. If you didn't want Diaz, if you want Chilwell, whatever it may be. This 4-4-2 gives me a lot of flexibility. And I do want to say here with Bamford, kind of as I talked about earlier with a lot of good options that 7.5 and under range, but none of them really sticking out. This allows you, let's say if, well, I don't want to ruin it for my next slide, but if there's a 7 million pound striker that's doing well, you could drop down. If you have a 7 mil, which you'll see in the next template, spoiler alert, it'd be hard to go up to 7.5 and get a Bamford, get a Ollie Watkins, whoever it may be. So, but I do want to say, maybe we're sleeping on Leeds assets. Bamford has a great run of fixtures for, I think, like the first 7 fixtures. When he was healthy 2 seasons ago, the dude was balling out. I switched Tomiyasu out here instead of White. If Tomiyasu is the one that's looking really good for Arsenal going into game week 1. I got Perisic here. I know there's some doubts on Perisic I've seen some things on Twitter going around, but he looks like a really good option at this point. To me, this is another solid squad. You could drop down Van Dijk to a 6 mil Diaz, and you'd still have a lot of, and give you 0.5 in the bank to really float things around. The beautiful thing about this 4-4-2 is if, like last year, there are a lot of great midfield options, this gives you a lot of opportunities for midfielders. But I like this draft a lot, actually, now I look at it. I don't know which one I prefer so far over the 4-3-3 or the 4-4-2. Let me know what you guys think. Which one do you like better? Thank you very much. All right, so for the last one. This one is the one that was challenging. I decided, let's go with 3-man backline only, but make sure I have at least 2 defenders more expensive than 5 mil, and one of those 2 being more expensive than 6 mil. And so I didn't want to go, White and Ait Nouri and Johnny, just in case one of those 4.5 defenders isn't doing well. Maybe there's a cash out there that's 5 mil that's doing really well. We want to get him in. So this allows me flexibility of the defense is what I'm trying to say. And then as far as my premium attackers here, this is the draft without Salah. I got Son, Haaland, and Kane. I think if I was to go 3-man back line, I don't think I could do it with Salah. I would have had to drop Chilwell down to cash, which I think is still a good option. But with those rules I kind of had in play, this is how I went. Now, if you're convinced on NATO, you could have Coutinho out and bring in NATO, and you'd have 1.5 extra to spend. Maybe that 1.5 goes to Chilwell to upgrade him to Trent Alexander-Arnold, which maybe I could just do. Maybe I'll just do it real quick and throw it up right here and show you what it looked like if you put Coutinho down to NATO and upgrade Chilwell to Trent, and let's see how that looks. Boom. Now back to the old one. Now Rashford here at 6.5. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of slack for that one because he hasn't been playing well last season. But 6.5 with a good run of fixtures to start the season, I think he could be a great option. Let's see how it looks going in, of course, to game week 1. But the beautiful thing here is you have Son and Kane with a good run of fixtures to start the season, Haaland, who can absolutely go off. And you also still have Luis Diaz at that 8 million pound midfielder spot, which again, there's so many good midfielder options at 8 mil. This allows you flexibility with that. And it still gives you a Liverpool attacker that's probably going to be starting most weeks. And so that could be huge. I also went with Jimenez here. I think Jimenez has a good run of fixtures. It's hard for me to trust him at this point. He kind of wasn't as prolific last season. Maybe he gets back to it this year. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just beautiful to watch him play again. But I think he could be a good option at 7 mil if he hits the ground running. But this is what my 3-man backline looks like. I like the balance of it that it brings. I think it looks good. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think is the best formation that you've seen from these drafts? I kept the prices at the bottom so you can go back and freeze it and be like, okay, this is how much I have to spend on midfield. Let's float around, see what we can do with here. But yeah, this is what it looks like. Let me know what you guys' favorite draft is. And I kind of want to do this again. I'm going to try to go live stream on Sunday to rate your guys' drafts. If you want to go ahead and throw them to me on Twitter, if you want to throw them to me on my Discord, which I'll probably put in the description below, send them to me and I'll rate them on a live stream on Sunday. Other than that, have a beautiful day. Take some time every day to make someone smile. And FPL is back. How beautiful is that? Peace.